hot as balls. Alright, what's up y'all? So I was not gonna yap today, but screw it, why not? I'm out looking for murals and or graffiti, and my brain was just like, I'm not gonna stop talking internally, so you might as well talk externally. And now we're here. So let's talk about, hopefully the audio is good because my visor's open because it's hot as balls. Let's talk about being drained, right? Like emotionally, physically, you know, any type of the sapping activities that take away from you as you are, right? Like this is me using my motorcycle to kind of replenish being drained. Like I had a draining week, you know, work just whooped me, tired me out for whatever reason, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go and refresh myself by riding my motorcycle or lifting weights, which I just got finished doing, or, you know, whatever, gaming when I get home, getting me a couple chicken tendies, like whatever it is that you got to do, you know, bar drugs and alcohol, in moderation for the alcohol, but you know, what you got to do to get yourself back right, and what you have to do to prevent yourself from being overly drained by yourself and those around you. Yourself is kind of, you know, kind of tough. You know, you try to do the best you can in life. You overwork yourself, you overextend yourself if that's what you're doing. You overcommit, you know, overpromise, and you try to live up to those promises or commitments, and you just, you know, you do it. But then at the end of it, you're like, damn, it was worth it for those who received, but was it worth it for me who got drained? You know, be it work, family, spouse, whatever. And sometimes it is worth it on both sides. You good, you get replenished a little bit by the fact that you did something for somebody, made them happy, and maybe that's refilling your tank. And you know, I use analogies a lot. If you're new to this channel and my way of speaking, I use analogies a lot when I'm teaching people like computer stuff. I just find that it's easier for me to explain stuff to certain people, and people like visual. They can visualize stuff. I'll get to the point soon, I promise. But like I use the human brain when I'm teaching people about computers and stuff. Like, you know, human brain, CPU, processing power. It's what we use to think, right? When I'm teaching people about computers, I teach them about storage space. I use our long-term memories is hard drive. Tons and tons of space. Short-term memory is RAM. So like when you lose your train of thought, it's the same as when you make a mistake and close that tab that you had just looked up and was about to find something, and then you was like, close the wrong tab. That's losing your train of thought. So I use analogies a lot so people can visualize what I'm saying. So for this instance of being emotionally drained, I'm gonna use a gas tank, right? So you fill up your tank, and it's okay when you're driving around, you're using yourself, and you run out of gas. It's your fault, it's your responsibility to, you know, replenish and refill your tank because you're driving, right? But when people start relying on you and need you to do things for them, or you extend yourself out and you make yourself available to people, sometimes they draining your tank. Like, there's no other way to put it. And I know for a fact that I have lived this. I've been drained like to E, where I'm about to lose it. Like mentally, I'm done. I want to fight, I want to argue, I want to yell, but at the same time, maybe it's my fault, maybe it's not. I mean, I allowed this to happen, but was I being too nice? Was I being too generous? Was I blah, 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 in my own head, right? And that part is also continuing to drain me. So it's this long, crazy cycle of you being drained, and you're like, okay, well, eventually you got to put a stop to this. You got to do enough to replenish yourself on your own, but then you're like, okay, I get to fill up my tank, but you get to drain it. And I'm sure I've done this to somebody, most likely my wife. I'm sure, I don't know what situation, but I'm sure I've been a draining influence, and I know for sure, you know, sometimes the opposite, but family and such can be a draining influence on your life, and you're constantly doing for, or being asked to do or provide, and you're like, all right, that's cool, but what you gonna do for me? Like I don't feel like I have to go and spend my time and my gas money for you, right? I drive, I use my gas, it's my responsibility to fill up the tank. If you drive, or if you got me running around town, for you, again, this is mentally, the gas tank reference is you doing things. If you using my gas, you ain't got nothing on the gas, bro? Like, you want me to come get you? You want me to take you somewhere? You want me to give you a ride? Or you want to borrow the car? But you ain't got nothing on the gas? Like, come on. After a while, you're going to start getting pretty ornery about those who got their hand out trying to use up their gas, right? So, do the same for yourself mentally. You know, moderate, do what you can. And if you're one of those extra super giving kind people, like, I know it's rough, you got to kind of bring that in. Me, I am not. I am by proxy giving. I only help somebody that's close to me help somebody else. If that makes sense. Like, if my wife asked me to do something, it ain't because I want to help the person she asked me to help, trust me. It's only because she asked me to do it, and I'm like, all right. But if that person had asked me to do it by themselves, nah, son. Nope, sorry. Stand in the house, gas tank on F, not on E. So, I'm gonna go ahead and shorten this video up, and I'm gonna just say, when you are dealing with things in your life, you have to try to make sure that when you're, you know, trying to maintain some balance and not be drained, you have to deal with people or put up boundaries that basically say, if you ain't got nothing on the gas, you're gonna have to find another solution. Because I guarantee you, if somebody was in real life constantly, like, you're not an Uber driver, if somebody was constantly begging you for a ride, take me here, pick me up, do this for me, one of these days you're gonna flip out and go, look, bro, I have to maintain this vehicle, your body. I have to refill the oil, you know, change the tires. I have to keep this in tip-top shape just so you can use it up. And you ain't got nothing on the gas? I know it's hard. And I am definitely a hypocrite when it comes to this. But you have to try your best to not mess around with people who ain't got nothing on the gas.